crafty friends, welcome to another card making video on my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how I made these fun Merry Christmas cards that feature a combination of hot foil for the sentiments and some layered stencils for the backgrounds. Hi there, my name's Nicole and I like to share crafty videos here on YouTube. As always, I invite you to check the description box below for more information and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any crafty inspiration. So to get things started, I've already gone ahead and pulled out my Gemini Foilpress. It's already preheated, and I've also gone ahead and lined up this Merry Christmas sentiment foil stamp across my platform. So essentially what I did here is I looked, if you look closely on your platform here on your foil press, you will see some grid marks, and I used those to try to make that Merry Christmas as straight as I could across the platform. And then on top of that, I added the foil shiny side down, as well as a piece of cardstock that I've already trimmed to A2 size on the platform as well. So once I was happy with the placement of those, I waited for the timer to finish ticking down, and then I'm just going to zip that all through my Gemini Junior machine. So after that came through my Gemini Junior machine, I'm just going to very carefully open up the plates here and pull out my cardstock and peel off that foil. And as you can see here, we're left with this beautiful foiled Merry Christmas sentiment. In case you're wondering, the foil stamp that I'm using today is from Spellbinders, and it's the Stylish Script Merry Christmas plate. Okay, so now that our foiling is complete, we're going to move on to some ink blending. So as per usual, I like to use my Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station whenever I'm using layering stencils. So as you can see, I just took some scrapbook.com mint tape to adhere down my card panel. And then next up, I'm lining up the very first stencil. This stencil today, or all the stencils today, are from Pinkfresh Studio. It's a set called Holiday Botanical Background. And this is a 4-piece stencil set that has 3 images that have sort of greenery and one with like a round berry image on it. So my strategy for today is to take my collection of Pinkfresh Studio green ink cubes. So I pulled out my ink cubes from the Garden Stroll and Over the Hill collections. And I've also pulled out some of my blender brushes. These are my Catherine Pooler and Gina K blender brushes. And essentially one by one, I'm just working my way through the stencils, stenciling in the greenery. So all that I do here is I like to just take light circular motions and apply the colors through the stencil. And then for the images that have a little bit more open space to them, some of those I applied multiple colors so that I could get a little bit of a blend in those images just for a little more interest. But for the more kind of dainty images, I just used a single color. So as you can see, one by one, just working my way through those inks, working my way through the stencils. And then at the end, before I switch stencils, I always like to buff off any excess ink off the top of my stencil using my microfiber cloth. This is something new that I've started lately, just because I find that it honestly helps a lot with me getting inky fingers from touching the stencils and then transferring ink to places in my project where I don't want inky fingerprints. So essentially that's why I do that. It's really up to you if that's something that you want to do or not, but if you are kind of clumsy like me and tend to get inky fingerprints on your projects when you're stenciling, you might want to try kind of buffing off the ink before touching the stencils. So after I blend through the first 3 stencils here, next up, what I'm going to do is just grab a couple of those ink cubes and blend some ink around the edges of my card front. So I went ahead and pulled out, I believe this is the Fresh Pear ink. It's one of the lighter green shades. And I blended that in about 1 inch around the outside of my card front. And then here I took the olive ink, which is a few shades darker, and kind of focused that more towards the edges of my card. I really like the look that that gives, how it gives it a little bit of more dimension and interest. So that finishes the ink blending, but we still have this last stencil. So as you can see here, I'm lining up that final stencil on my platform, adhering or holding it down with those magnets. And now I'm pulling out some gold glitter gel. So as you can see here, this is the Gina K Designs Glitz Glitter Gel in gold. And I'm just using one of these Botanic Nuvo spatulas to very carefully apply this glitter gel through the stencil. So with this one, you have to be a little more careful of where you're applying it, because unlike how the gold foil resisted the inks that we applied through the earlier stencils, the gold foil will not resist the gold glitter gel. So as you can see there, I just actually bypassed those couple berries that were right on top of my sentiment. But that was pretty easy to do because this stencil, or this spatula, sorry, is pretty small. And so I was able to, you know, keep that Glitz glitter gel only where I wanted it on my card. Essentially at this point, all that's left to do is peel those off, set them aside to dry, and then I came back later and just used a tape runner to adhere these down to some A2 size card fronts. And that's it for this card project today. I think this would be a really easy one to mass produce and make a lot of cards if that's what you need to do this holiday season. And if you're looking for some more crafty inspiration, I invite you to check out the videos on your screen now. And until next time, I hope you are keeping it crafty. Bye!